Tracking down the food cables on the Fundy Footpath is like trying to find Bigfoot, but with granola bars at stake. Wondering where to store your food safely on this epic trail, I finally mapped it out, so let's solve the mystery one campsite at a time. Hey there, fellow wild seekers. If you're planning a thru hike or overnight adventure on the iconic Fundy Footpath in New Brunswick, chances are you've heard whispers of mysterious food cables tucked away at the campsites. But where exactly are they, and do they even exist? They're not always easy to find. During my latest 5-day hike along the trail, I made it my mission to finally track them down. We're going to start off with Sealy Beach. These ones are the easiest to find. There's no mystery here. At the 8-kilometer marker, head up the Blue Flag Trail past the site, and you'll find a newer outhouse and the food cables waiting at the top. Cradle Brook, it's a bit of a mixed bag. We stayed on the beach here, and while there is a tent pad and a half-built outhouse, we searched high and low and found nothing. No cables yet. So we hung our food near the river with a trusty tree branch and called it a night. Little Salmon River, this one's a gem. Tent pad, outhouse, and yes, functioning food cables. I'll show you exactly where they're located so you don't have to waste any time looking. Okay, so the lovely Vicky is standing just above the pit toilet at the 17-kilometer marker. And if you follow the trail, there are the food hangs right there. So if you're not looking for them, you could potentially miss them. So we're on the trail. We are actually on the main trail. And then they are right there. I know it's really hard to see. Hopefully you can see the bottom of the cables all the way up. It looks like there's 5 of them. 5 of them up there. So right at the 17-kilometer marker, up above the pit toilet at Little Salmon. Next up is Wolf Brook. This one was tough. We spent ages looking before finally spotting the cables. So for the toilet and the food hangs at Wolf Brook, you would come up from the brook here. And as you're walking up, you can see the pit toilet in there. But before you get to it, there is a trail, and you'll see Vicky waving at you. Right there, that is the food hangs right there. Next up is Telegraph Brook. This day was a blur of rain and time pressure for us. We had to hustle to get to our tidal crossing at Goose Creek, so we couldn't search for too long. Word on the trail says cables are here, but we didn't spot them. So if you do, please let us know in the comments. Next up was Quiddy River. No sign of food cables here either. We scouted around, but we didn't see anything official, and we haven't heard that they exist here either. Next is Brandy Brook, which is a little campsite at Tweedledee and Tweedledum Falls. We didn't stop here this time around, but I've stayed here before. It is a lovely site, but there are no food cables to be found here. Next up is Goose Creek, which is also the tidal crossing. We weren't planning to stay. We had a really rough day dealing with the rain and a lot of slippery roots. It slowed us down. So we end up staying here the night. The site is beautiful, and yes, it does have food cables. So we are at Goose Creek, and we found the food cables leaving away from the ocean. Once you get up through this side trail, you'll notice some blue flagging. We're going to cross a little stream, some blue flagging, and we follow that to the food hang. We found the food cables, and so for those of you that don't know how the bear cables work, you've got this little loop here. There's a bunch of carabiners on it. We took one off. So all you have to do is take your bag, clip it on to the loop. Then you would take this other cable, pull it up, and then you'll see another loop come down. You want a carabiner on that. So if there's none on there, have your own. And usually we have hooks.
There are on the other side.
So there's hooks. Right here, there's a whole bunch of carabiners and hooks. And I'm just going to hook it onto the other carabiner. And that's it.
Okay.
Nothing's going to be getting those up there. Up there. There we go. Next up is Rose Brook. Rose Brook checks off all the boxes. It's a gorgeous beach. There's a nice outhouse there and working food cables right next to the outhouse, which is great. Another safe spot to hang your goodies. The last site is Goose River plus the Fundy National Park side. So at Goose River, there are no cables on the west side, which is free to camp. Once you cross the river into Fundy National Park, you are required to reserve a site, but there are food cables provided at those backcountry sites. Remember, food safety in the backcountry isn't just about bears. Mice, raccoons, and other curious critters can and will chew right through your pack if it smells like trail mix. Hang your food, cook away from your tent, and keep everyone, including the wildlife, safe. I hope this guide makes your Fundy Footpath experience a little safer and a whole lot smoother. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. I've got more videos coming soon from this incredible trail. And if you want extra prep, check out my Fundy Footpath workshop and downloadables at healthyhiking.ca. Thanks again for being here. We'll chat soon.